Hello folks, this is a bit of an unexpected video for me because I didn't plan to go thrifting today, but I did, and I'm happy I did. Just went to one thrift shop and they had a lot of stuff and it was all priced very nicely, so I just went there and it's the manual that comes with the cartridge, kind of cool. I just went there and took it home. Now, this will probably all need a little bit of love, considering the price most definitely. This one, for instance, doesn't have a belt, but with a Phillips, and I'm sure many people already are like, oh goodness, thank goodness. That's a good thing, because Phillips belts tend to deteriorate really badly, and then they become this gooey mess, and yeah, it's impossible to get off, so I'm just happy there's no belt. That's better than a messy belt. Let's see if it works otherwise. Plug it in. It's got DIN, so we're going to need an adapter. Also, you may notice I'm using a lav mic for the first time. Only works with this camera. This is not the camera I usually use for these, but I want to see how it sounds also with the audio playing. And the reason I usually don't use this camera is it doesn't have autofocus. So everything up till about here is in focus and then it gets gradually blurrier. But then it also can't hunt for focus, so that's good. Let me get a cable to hook this up, see what it does. We got one whole channel. For now I'm sort of suspecting that's... No, wait. There we are, 2 channels, okay, and the buzz is gone. So the head shell needs a bit of a clean. Other than that, it seems to work sound-wise, and these usually do run. Ooh, the motor was stuck, but I gave it a bit of a swing and now it's running. They do that too. Does the auto stop work? It does. Now, there's something wrong with the spring here. It's not supposed to be up like that. That's that rubber ring that we just... I'm not sure if you noticed, but I found this rubber ring. So this spring has sort of lost the plot. And this clearly needs a little love. I think we can get this one to run just fine, but let's first get a belt, see what it does. I don't know if I have this belt anymore. These, by the way, are belts for a Tesla reel-to-reel, a B something 15, I don't know, 715 I think, that I found at a flea market some time ago. So that will be in a video at some point. How about this one? No. Oh. Slightly too large. Oh, this was really close actually. Too large. Too small. Is there nothing in here that's gonna fit? Maybe this one? It's definitely too thin, but ooh, should work for testing, I hope. That motor keeps jamming though, so that definitely needs a bit of exercise, but as you can see it's running. So let's put this on. It will be a bit wonky because of that spring. Yeah, that was bound to happen. How am I going to fix this temporarily? I mean, the rubber's actually still there. I'm not even sure what's been going on here, but that means I can't really test it now, I'm afraid. That being said, other than that spring, see, it's still rubbing. Other than the spring, it appears to be working fine. So what I could do... Why are you slipping? Is that too slippery? Yeah, it's too slippery. Ooh, that motor. Jeez, this thing has been through a bit. Yeah, and it jams. Yeah. This is going to need a little more than this. I'm afraid this one, I mean, considering what I paid for everything, just having the stylus is already a bonus. So let's keep that for now. That looks to be in okay shape. I think this is fixable, but next for now. Weird plug. That's not original. But it's also quite old, probably even older than the player. Not the best start, not gonna lie. And to be honest, this one, upset of a lav mic, you can still hear me while I walk away. This one's a bit worrying as well. I think it's from the same previous owner. Considering it's tied up in exactly the same way. Okay, the power switch is working. Hey, that actually is promising. Okay, we have an old belt. I'm not sure if it's going to work for now. Doesn't seem in too bad of a shape, so hopefully it just fell off. Ah, look at that. This was missing, but it's right there, so it just needs a simple screw and it's back together. The belt is very loose, but it runs, okay. The wrong stylus is in there. They just jammed a Shore stylus into this Phillips cartridge, but I happen to have a Phillips stylus here that I just got from the other record player, so that's a win-win. It's not quite the right one, but I can swap it out. What about the Shore one? That's dead, so that's gone. Okay. This is gonna go off at some point. It's very hard to get off. I'll get it off eventually. But let's see, this is very heavy. Not sure what it's set to, but it's set to at least 5 grams. Okay, let's see what we get. Does the lift work? Oh yes, and that's the automatic one, I think. Yeah, it's a 312. And... oh yes. Oh yeah, if you press stop, it goes to, it goes up as well. See? So it should also stop when you put it at the end. Let's see if it goes up. And... this one's fully functional. I just need to put this back, which is somehow not on there. Of course, it's not in the best of shape. It's had a bit of a life. Although some of that will come off because it's somehow dirt. I'm showing you this side, guys. Don't take it personal. The power switch is wonky, as they are. It only worked once. Now it stopped working, so it needs a new power switch. I need to put the lift back. And... that's it, actually. That's not too bad. These are very desirable these days. They sound good, the Philips 212 and especially the 312, because it has the automatic stop. People love that shit. I don't really see the big issue with getting up, but well, I'm bombarding myself now. I'm trying to get this off because I hate that it's still on there. There we go. Didn't even leave a gooey mess. That's the foot for a dust bug, one of those things that you that follows along with the arm and that cleans your record. Honestly, this could be way worse. This one's going to be fine, just fine. Surprised about that. I expected this one to be worse than the other one. And then, staying in the theme, these usually work, by the way. Another Philips. This is a simpler one, but I kind of like these. They don't sound half bad. They actually sound pretty good. They're reliable as heck. They look okay as well. Let's see what we get. These belts often are still okay. Let's see if this one is... no, it's not, because it's not running, so it's probably off. No, it is actually not off. Why are you not running? Wasn't there a neck to getting these platters off? I'm surprised it doesn't run. Oh, now it runs. Okay, so that's a bit wonky. We have 2 channels, so it probably just worked. Except that now I can't get the platter. I can't get the belt back on. Well, the heck. It is getting plugged in. I can hear the sound of it. Very worried about this record player, honestly, because that's some weird symptoms it has. Now, works fine on both channels, so it's obviously going to play the record once it spins, but it doesn't spin. I mean, here you go. Lift doesn't go down quite enough, does it? Oh, it's because the mat's not on there. Oof. That doesn't have a lot of margin. Works fine, sounds pretty good as well, but it's for some reason most of the time not running, and I don't quite get why. Because it did run for a second, and it's not a stock motor. This is not stock at all. I suspect it's a broken power cable, because it worked for a second, but yeah, not now. So at this point, this is all we got. But that's a very weird defect. Walkmans don't often work, but let's see what this one does. There's an ant on my cassette player. How did you get there? From the car, I guess. So I did check if it has leaky batteries in it, because if it does, I'm just not going to bother taking it home. It looks good. It may do something, but will it do everything? Nothing? Not even a little bit? Now these don't have screws. You pretty much have to break them open somewhat carefully. And then when you do that, you have to make sure they don't snap back together, because the more often you have to snap them apart, the higher the chance stuff will break. Not sure where it's still holding now. I thought I would be there by now, but apparently not. There's the plastics that break, as they do. This belt is very far gone, but I also didn't hear a motor spin, so let me see. Of course, nothing holds the batteries in now. Oh! Maybe that belt stopped the motor from spinning, because it's spinning fine now. Do I have a belt that vaguely fits? Of course they do. I think this is the way. Let's see, what do we have? Oh. And nothing happens. This again? Yeah, it doesn't do anything anymore now. Oh, wait. Ah. So as it turns out, it's actually quite oxidized in there, but just there. I couldn't see that when I bought it. Okay, we can get it to run, but it's very unhappy. Let's get a belt on that seems like it could work. You know what, Walkmans, it's all very finicky, but it's also pretty accessible. So usually you can figure it out. Now, what's often a problem with working on Walkmans is that the belts are too thick if you replace them. You really need the right size of belt and the right thickness of belt as well. And if you don't, it's probably going to rub against something. So beware, if it doesn't work, you probably have a belt that is slightly too thick. Because Walkman belts are really thin. I mean, this is one, but it's also completely gone. This is actually still fine. I wonder what that's from. So everything appears to be working, but I'm not hearing anything. Ah, there we go. Speed control, please. Fast forward. Yep. Rewind. Yep. Not too shabby. So if I just clean these contacts, it should actually work, but it seems very specific about the cleanliness of the contact, so I wonder if something else is wrong as well. I hope this belt fits well enough, because if it doesn't, it needs to come apart again, and well, there's only so many times you can do that. It did click back together, that's good. Still not completely happy about its battery connection, but it's running better than I expected it would, so that's worth a fix. Let's go to this Arizona AC/DC cassette recorder. I think this runs on C cells, yeah, 4 C cells, so we're going to use the mains, because I don't have 4 C cells, I think. Fast forward, rewind, play. some stuff rattling in the speaker, but other than that it seems fine. It's just that I lost my other tape. Here it is. Because of course we want to test recording. This is the Aristona AC/DC cassette recorder. Does it have a model number? It is the TR2608. Does it record? I think it will. Cats 2. This is the Aristona AC/DC cassette recorder. Does it have a model number? It is the TR2608. Does it record? I think it will. It recorded! It recorded! Nothing wrong with that thing. It's a bit rattly, the speaker. I don't know. I think there's something in the speaker actually. I don't think it's actually broken. So, I mean, worst case scenario, you just screw any random speaker that sort of fits in, because these things sound horrible anyway, but works fine. Now I also have some films, 8mm films, Super 8 to be exact. Here's one, here's another one. Yep. And here is another one. Now I don't know if these are home recorded or professionally made. I think they may be professional, which is a pity because I actually collect the home recorded ones. But then I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of those. So, you know, that's fine. Then I've got some BSF Chrome Super Quality 2 tapes. It's a 3-pack. It was once like this. No? That's interesting. It's a 3-pack. It says 3-pack here. And then here it also says something, but it doesn't match with the others. So I think this was part of another pack at some point, another 3-pack I presume. And I also found these cards, greetings from Maasbracht. And Maasbracht is a thrift shop I bought these things at. And I figured I'd get these old cards, probably from, judging by the cars, the mid-60s. Early to mid-60s. I'm just going to send them to people. So that's something I'm going to do. And then there's one more thing. A simple but likable Pioneer PLX55Z record player. The issue with these is that they always use a 12-volt power supply, and that is in the stereo system they come with. And then they have some sort of plug that you have to plug into the stereo system. This is a mono mini jack. And people are like, I don't know how to use this, it doesn't go into the mains, and then they don't buy it. But I just find cheap power supplies and I just, you know, make them work again. Let's see. Belt's okay. Mat is now the right way up. Now it has no stylus, that's no biggie. It's your typical Audio Technica. I think this is the 1894, 92, the P-mount cartridge. Let's see. We got our 2 channels. Now we don't have a ground right now because the ground is also done by the stereo rig. So I'm going to have to add a ground. I'm going to have to open it up and add a ground, but I'm quickly going to get a power supply and see if it works otherwise. 12 volt, 1.4 amps. That's more than enough for a record player. There we are. Massive buzz because again, no ground. It's going to be fine though. We'll fix that later. And down. These things just work. Will you stop as well? Nice. And auto start? Got to love a simple plastic record player. And auto stop. Here we go. What more could you ask for? A ground, obviously, because that buzzing is a bit annoying, but it's funny how the simple, cheap, undesirable record player of the bunch is the only one working perfectly. That wasn't everything yet. I almost forgot. I got, and I'm not sure if they're gonna fit in the frame, a pair of speakers. Let me move you back a bit. Now you may ask yourself, why would you buy Phillips tower speakers from the early 2000s? Especially considering the fact that they are, and this is honestly impressive because of how large they are, this light. They are maybe, I don't know, 3 kilos each. Well, there's something a bit special about them, and I hope you can actually see. They have a ribbon tweeter, and I just wanted to try that out. I wanted to see what it sounds like. It's obviously still cheap speakers. I don't expect miracles, but I'm still kind of curious how they perform. That's these speakers, okay. These we need. Okay. They do work. I'm going to move back a bit to see how that changes the sound signature. It's not great. The highs are pretty good. The ribbon tweeters do their job pretty well. Actually, the woofers aren't bad either, but you can just hear. You can hear that the case is allowing for a lot of movement of the case, and they just tend to be hollow, 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 and then when you get to the resonance frequency of the woofer, they have a pretty nice deep low end. They have a bass board here at the bottom and some fake spikes. These could have been alright in a better case, actually. I feel like if they'd been in a wider case, that was maybe a bit deeper as well, and maybe a little lower, with a bass board just somewhere here at the back. These could have been alright. I don't think the units are the problem here. This could have been a really nice, maybe even two-way. There is a two-way version of this. It only has one woofer. As is though, really not great. They look good and they work fine, so someone's going to be happy about this. Not everyone's equally picky, but it's kind of cool to have something with a ribbon tweeter. But these are definitely part of a affordable stereo, and you can tell. What's the model number? MCD, Phillips MCD 709. Yeah, it's a micro theater. Oh, those things. They're actually supposed to come with a sub. So you make a micro little stereo with huge, well, relatively large tower speakers, and then you still add a sub. They were just messing, because these have plenty of sub low end. They just don't... So much movement. They just don't have any anything above that. So it's hollow mid lows, gap, and then sub lows. Oh well. That's all. I just wanted to have you join in on this this journey. I'm not going to unpack these because they're nice and new, and I'm going to keep them nice and new until I need them. But that was a slightly disappointing thrift haul, but for what I paid, I'm good. It wasn't expensive. See you in the next one.